taking all my problems too. So we got a taxi back to mine, stopping up at Stokes Not First. We got a pack of our belief and some country choice to learn. No, you ain't living my life the way the people say I should. Another person's plan ain't gonna do me no good.
Hey everyone, so today I thought I would do a video on my VEGFEST experience. I recently went to the one in Bristol and it was my first ever experience going to something like that, and while I was there I got some footage of it, so I thought I might as well make a video of it and share some tips and things if you're thinking about going to a VEGFEST in the future. I had no idea what to expect when I was going there. I did not realise it'd be so big and there'd be so many stalls. So we basically started in the first tent. There was 3 tents of stalls and then there was an outside area which had musicians and then all the food vans. So we started in the first tent, we got a bit overwhelmed, there was so many stalls, everything was giving out free samples. It was pretty insane. So I'd say my first tip is to definitely get there early, because when we went back to the same tent a few hours later, it was packed, and you'll be able to see from like some of the footage I got how busy it was. So definitely go early and then make the most of it and spend the day there, so that way you know you'll get your money's worth and you get to eat so many free samples that it's completely worth it. So the stalls range from food to clothes to cards, and then there's also stalls about animal welfare and environmental things, and there's a huge variety of stuff to look at, so take your time as you're walking around, because honestly there's so much stuff that you can get involved in, sign petitions for, and obviously the free samples. I would have thought it probably is a good idea to go around the entire place and then decide what you want to buy, but I saw the Miss Cupcake stall and everything looked insane and I knew that I had to get something, so that was my first purchase of the day. I got a chocolate peanut butter cookie there. I think it was about £1.80, which is kind of expensive for one cookie, but it was so good, and they had some other things that looked insane. They had like a Ferrero Rocher cupcake that I really wanted, but I knew I wouldn't be able to carry it around very easy, so opted for the cookie. It was definitely worth it. So if you're at a VEGFEST or any other thing where you see the Miss Cupcake stall, definitely try something, it's so worth it. We also tried a lot of cheese in the first tent. There was a cheese stall, I don't know how you pronounce their brand, but I've seen it in like a health food shop before and I hadn't heard that positive things about it, but they had so many different types, so I kind of went wild, tried everything. I think the best ones were the ones which had like a more overwhelming flavour on top of the cheese flavour, so like the chive one, and I think there was a Wensleydale cranberry one which was quite good. We tried one, I think it was like smoked cheddar or something along those lines, and it was so gross. Me and my friend were trying not to heave. We like just looked at each other and like couldn't swallow it, and it was awful. So I wouldn't recommend trying that one, but the others were not too bad. And there was also like a nut cheese stall which was really good. It was kind of the more expensive posh cheeses, and I would never probably buy them myself, but they were really good. We then went outside and just had a look around all the food stalls, and I was not expecting so many different varieties of things, and I'm someone that really struggles to make a decision in any aspect of my life, so when it comes to food that's particularly hard, and there was so much to choose from, so having that variety of food was pretty difficult for me, but you know, seeing that amount of vegan food in one place is pretty great. We then went to the second tent, had a little wander around there, and then we went to a talk. So we caught the end of a talk by the vegan geezer, I think his name is. I hadn't actually heard about the YouTubers that were talking there, so they were new people for me, but I got the end of his talk, which was really interesting, and then we sat through one by Rihanna Jameen. I may not have pronounced her name right, but hers was all about YouTube activism, and that was really cool, and there was a bit of like interactive bit where we had to talk with some people in front of us who were also YouTubers, which was quite fun. And I think the talk was probably more aimed at people who really hadn't been on YouTube at all yet, because it was quite basic stuff, but it was interesting all the same, and it was nice to sit down out of the cold and the rain, because the day that we went was pretty miserable, which was kind of annoying. So after our talk, it was about half an hour long, we went and got lunch. So my friend got vegan paella, and she had that in like a wrap thing, and I got a curry from a stall that we tried a sample from earlier. which was good. I think I wouldn't get it again because there was 3 different curries on the plate and 2 of them had like meat substitutes, and I just wasn't as big a fan of that as other people might be. So I'd probably try something else. There was also a vegan sushi burrito place that I would definitely recommend because I've tried something from there at a recent festival that I went to, and it was so good. So if you see that, definitely try that because that is definitely worth the money. I also, a little bit later on, got some churros, which were great. I took them with me on the train and it was great. Okay, so that kind of brings me on to like a couple of more tips. One being, bring money, expect to spend a lot of money because it's great. There's so much vegan stuff all in one place that you kind of just want to make the most of it. Sample wise, go crazy with them because they're free and you can literally eat as many of them as you want, and just bring money so you can buy what you want to buy and don't worry about it for one day. Just buy what you want, treat yourself, you know, try different food things. Our only issue was that we filled up on samples and then we couldn't eat as much food from the stalls as we wanted, but if I was to go again I probably would eat slightly less samples and try more of the vans because some of the things looked so good, like the hot dogs and chips, they looked so good. So if I went again I'd probably eat more from those food stalls just because I've tried a lot of the samples already, but definitely just eat as much as you can and make the most of it. Along the same theme of making the most of it, I would definitely recommend looking at the festival beforehand, looking at what's on, because I know that there were some musicians that we didn't really see, and that way you know what talks are going on. We looked at the kind of talk set list as soon as we got there, so we knew if we wanted to go to any of them, but I definitely recommend looking that up beforehand so you know what you want to see, where you need to be at certain times, just so you can make the most of the whole festival and not just the free sample. So that was a little bit about my first ever VEGFEST experience. I hope it was helpful for anyone that's not been to one before, and if you haven't and there's one near you, definitely go. If you buy tickets early there's often deals, so we got our ticket buy one get one half price, but I know that if we'd bought it even earlier you could have got buy one get one free. So check them out early, get your tickets early, and yeah, definitely go see one if you can. So that is everything. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!